Hello and welcome to this week's Tip Tuesday. I'm Kevin with IndySoft support, and today I'm going to be going over a method of changing the frequency and interval, schedule frequency and interval for one or multiple pieces of equipment at the same time. A lot of people have used the global equipment change to do this, and it will allow you to change the frequency and interval. However, it will not recalculate a due date. So the best option to make these changes is to create an event that will allow you to change the frequency and interval and recalculate the due date, leaving the last date performed as is. So to set up this event, it's pretty simple. You'll just go into your workflow config right here, which I already have open for time savings. So I've created this recalculate schedule event. And in your field settings, you'll want to set up whatever fields you want in here. In this case, I just have the employee who did the change, the date that it was done. I've got to have completed, and I've enabled user-defined 1, user-defined 2, and I've labeled them frequency and interval. Okay, so you'll have to enter those values in when you run this event. For the event tabs, I've got it set up so you can add multiple pieces of equipment at one time, or you can perform this event against multiple pieces of equipment. And I've combined the steps, the event information, and the choosing equipment as one step. So just to simplify things. We don't need any barcode display rules. Under miscellaneous, you'll need to set your user-defined field, and that's the interval field of the event, to select from an event list. And in this case, I've selected event list 2. You can select whatever event list you have available, but I have 2 available, so that's the one I've selected. And then I'm going to skip to the event list step. So event list, I select event list 2, okay, and I've added these interval options: days with an S, months with an S, weeks with an S, and years with an S. They have to be set just like this. So you'll need to add this so you have a drop down. Otherwise, you'll need to type it in manually, which I would not suggest. Right? So you'll create that, and then we will go back to status changes, step 6. Really nothing needs to be done here. Is this first option, and that is if you want the event to get removed from history after it's performed, you would just check that option. Otherwise, if you want to have a history of who did the frequency interval change and have that in history, then you would just leave that unchecked. Okay. Step 7 is an important step. You'll need to add a schedule update rule. In this case, I already have it here, so we'll double click to open it, and it's going to apply to calibration schedules. And in this case, I'm just using the system-wide due date options. If you had specific types of scenarios where one company may want it to the end of the month, the due date to be end of the month, whatever, you would deselect this and select this to create those different ways of updating the schedule. The schedule update is important. You'll need to set frequency and interval from user-defined 1 and user-defined 2. Calculate the schedule from the last schedule date. That way the last schedule date will not reflect the day that this particular event is performed. Okay, so you'll need to select that option. So you can leave all this as is. Click OK to save. So I have my schedule update rule configured, and that's all you have to worry about. The rest of this you don't have to worry about. So once you've done that, you're going to finish and save it. Okay. So now we will perform the event, and let's say, for example, I want to change the frequency and the interval to 12 months. Okay. So I would go to my miscellaneous and launch my Recalculate schedule event. and I would select the equipment that I want to perform this event against. There's several methods you could add the equipment. I'm going to choose Equipment Finder, and I'm going to do this for all equipment under the example company. I will select that down here, and so I have 5 pieces of equipment I'm going to apply this change to, and I'm going to add them. And up here, we're going to set the frequency and the interval. So what did I say? 12 months. So I'm going to put in 12. And the interval, I'm going to select months. And this is that event list drop down. Select months, and I'm going to finish. Complete it, yes. Okay. So you'll notice that my frequency and interval is now 12 months, and it recalculated my due date for 12 months, 10/11/2024 through 10/11/2025. So that's how that works. And if we go on the history, we have all the recalculate events that I've performed, and this is the one I just performed, and it was done by me on today's date. So that's how that would work. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to support, and they can assist. Thanks. Have a good day.